friends, to another adventure right here, probably my favorite lake on the north end. It wasn't supposed to be windy, but the wind is blowing, gotten everything churned up. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan, and I'm usually making fishing videos. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. So today we're doing the crankbait challenge, and with the water as murky as it is, I'm gonna throw this flat balsa B2, I think is what it is, but it's definitely that flat balsa from Bagley's. Check that out. So this is kind of up in one of these pocket areas here, and I'll pan this way. Look at the lake, goes all the way back there. And so just a flip of the wrist, as always with a Bagley, very castable. I don't crank it too hard, just bring it in. So we completed the jerkbait challenge. Now we're on to the crankbait challenge. Well, I've had all kinds of shad popping in here. Oh yeah, this thing looks good. The shad have been exploding all through here. I've fished this spot quite a bit. And so you've got cabbage in here, cabbage out there. That's good lipless crankbait stuff out in that area. So I'll crank it, give it a pause, a couple twitches, crank it, pause, a couple twitches. Let it do its thing. Oh yeah. Look at that, she comes right up. Man, there's just nothing like balsa, guys. The wood and water. It's just epic. Yeah, you do got to be careful here because of the wind. This is a natural point here, so it's kind of like a highway for them. So I'm using 12 and 12 sunline, the braid to the fluoro, and I'm throwing this on the Mojo, which I just love this rod. Probably my favorite rod. I've got an Avid, and I've got a Victory Bass X in the St. Croix line, but I really like this one. Shatter busting in here. Ooh, this is good stuff right here. Check that out. All right, so the challenge is I got to catch something on a crankbait and only a crankbait. So we're working this point here. I've caught fish here before. And do I have one there? On the pause, something just came up and just cracked it. Let's see. We do have a fish on the Bagley. Holy cow. Did you see that? I had two fish. Two of these striped bass on here. I'm counting that other one. They were both going for it. So we're gonna count this as a success. Let me unhook this dude. There we go. Two of them hit it. One was chasing the other one. All right, so the crankbait challenge is a success. Let's keep it going, see what else we can catch. All right, guys, that Bagley got it done. Ooh, shad popping right there. That was awesome. 2 of them come in. That's the first time I ever had 2 fish hit a crankbait. They were both white bass. We call them sand bass. Man, that looks good in the water. That's all it is. Little flick of the wrist, get it out there. It's got good color there for this kind of water. But the fish are used to, you know, seeing stuff in churned up water because the wind blows here so much. Ooh! Some shad jumped right there. Man, this looks good. So I'm just going to do some fan casting. And really, that was like my first go at it here, and I caught those 2. If I would have, I was in disbelief. I would have swung them over. Both of them would have been on land, and I could have lifted them both up. Yeah, guys, if you've never thrown balsa, just the wood and water, man, see the shatter popping right there. Let's see if somebody's in there. Nothing. From time to time you'll see gar will hit the surface, a big splash. Carp and bass. Oh, almost a snag, but this thing comes right up. Yeah, guys, I had a lot of fun filming that jerkbait video. That got a lot of attention, I guess, because you know, since it came out, the lure came out, it's relatively new. But I had fun fishing it, man. That thing is great. Yeah, this thing's got a nice tight wobble. Something about balsa, guys. It's just, you know, I really love the bombers. Are my favorite crankbaits. Then it's probably Bagley, 6 cents. And that's pretty much it that I throw. I mean, there's other brands here and there. I like throwing rock crawlers, those are good. Ooh, just had one jump right there. The Bagley fell victim to whatever is stuck down there. I tried to wait out a little bit to get better of an angle, and I couldn't. Normally when it hits, you let it go, it'll back out, but man, something really snarled it up. So I'm gonna throw this bomber. This is a 6A in this kind of craw color. Look how churned up the water is. This may be Snag City over here too, but yeah, the wind just knocks that down. That looks good. All right, skip that. We're not going with that idea. I want to try to work this side of the point though. Oop, my feet are sinking in this mud. Gotta watch out for this mega snag there. There we go. favorite ones. The 4, I think I said a 6A. This is a 4A. The 4A, and then anything in the fat-free shad line. Yeah, it's odd. We weren't supposed to have any wind today. If we were, it was supposed to be from that little cool front coming through. We've got all kinds of aircraft diverting. Right above me is the Southwest Airlines. Ooh, I don't know if you can see him way up there. He's going into Love Field. We got 2 mega airports here. One's DFW, which is the one for the whole country, international stuff, and then Love Field is more for the US. They may have a couple flights out of there to South America, but all right, let's get back on our perch over here. Normally I want to cast into the wind and bring the bait into the wind, you know, into where the wind's blowing. But if you can do it laterally, it'll work too. You'll be all right. And obviously if you're out there in depth, you'll be just fine also. If anything's suspended or hanging around down there. Yeah, that looks good. You can see it. Probably some fishing tournaments on this lake, and they're gonna really hate this wind. Ooh, I snagged there. Oh, a little cabbage, huh? You guys ever done one of these challenges? Man, that thing casts like a good 100 yards. Have you guys done any of these challenges, like a particular technique or a specific bait? I never had until I did the jerk bait challenge. It was a 10 cast challenge that I may try to wedge in here somewhere. Shad hopping all through here. On the bomber. Ooh, let's get over here up this sketchy mud. Well, it's a little guy, but man, he clocked it. Check out that sore in his tail, guys. He's not very big. Let's get him back in there. Whew. That was on the bomber. Man, it's in that same spot over there. Just right, there's like a little weed bed there. All right. I was going to switch to something else just to see if it would work. And I'm going to do that right now. All right, guys, check it out. There it is. I said it was a bomber 4A. It's a 5A. Look at that bottom. Look at that top. Looks good, man. Looks good. All right, guys, check this one out. I switched over to this. I threw that for a little bit longer, but check out the colors on this. This is a Bill Lewis MR6, the Mark Daniels Jr. design. So we're gonna chuck this around. It's my first time using it. It casts a country mile, that's for sure. Boy, it is windy. Yeah, we weren't supposed to have any wind. I checked this morning. It's never an exact science, I guess. Anyway. Ooh, I thought I had one right there. Yeah, that last bite I had, I didn't even know I had him on there. Hit way out there, and then I got him here about 20 feet out, and then all of a sudden he came up and jumped, and I was like, oh man, I got one. Believe it or not, with the chop that's out here, it makes it kind of tricky. Good. Yep, they'll be able to see it. I gotta watch out for this super snag that's down here, but I want to work this little stretch here. Thing is, I don't want to cloud the water up over here by walking in this mud, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. Weird, guys. There's like a big trench that goes right around, and then it gets real shallow over there. This is a cool bait, guys. You gotta try them out. I'm gonna have to do a review on this at some point. Maybe I can start today. There, I'm in some cabbage. There was a lot of surface cabbage over here, and I don't know if we had storms or what. I know a tornado came ripping through here and tore up half of this area. There's a bunch of trees down and all kinds of chaos. But there was a lot of easy to see surface cabbage, and it's not there anymore. So I wonder if a tornado cleaned it all up. It was a crazy storm. That was at the end of April. Actually, there were 2 tornadoes in the same day, a couple hundred yards apart. Oh man, I love this. I love this crankbait. God, this thing's got a great feel to it, and you cast it a country mile. Look at that. Bing! Way out there. So we're doing the crankbait challenge. I caught 2 fish on a Bagley. Caught that little bass on the bomber. Ooh, something just caused the... Something keeps making these shad jump right in here. I think it's these white bass or bass, but I run through there and I can't ever get anything to hit right in close. Normally that's my MO, is I'm catching everything with a couple of feet out. Check that color out, guys. Man, that looks good. They've got a whole bunch of colors too. The bait's not too expensive. I mean, it's you're gonna pay something, but it's not bad. there's even more fish jumping in. Oh, there's a ton of minnows right there. Did you see that? All the stuff jumping right there? There's big crappie in here. There's bluegill. Ooh, what is that? A gar? Looks like a gar's right there. Huh. Yeah, sketchy footing through here, guys. I gotta watch out because I don't want to hit that snag, but pretty good, guys. This MR6. So I pull it through, then I twitch it a little, then I let it come up, and then twitch it through. I fish the trench a little bit more and then back behind me into the wind. And so to give this spot just a little time to reset after I caught those fish in there. This is fun to throw. God, that's a great color. So I'm doing fan casting this way now. Just look at that flick of the wrist. The wind is helping, but it's so easy to, it's got great weight to it. But it comes through it pretty good. Such a cool little bait. vicious. Check that out. Let's see what it says on here. Yep, bomber square bill. Oh my gosh. I thought I had a pig, and it was that stick. I mean, it just stopped dead right there. And then I pulled on it, it was like giving that boing boing, like a head shake, and I was like, I got it! And nothing. Oh, how fishing can go. Yeah, it's pretty brutal out here, but on this point, man, there's definitely going to be some action through here. Although I've completed the challenge, I still want to throw some of these out here and just to get some practice throwing in some heavy wind, you know, chop and winds. This is how it was when I lived in Amarillo. The wind would blow 20 to 40 every day because it's so flat, no trees. It's where the, you know, home on the range, where all the buffalo are. Prairie everywhere. It's just so flat that the wind just blows and blows. One more bomb cast. For a long time I thought that should have been my tagline or like a channel name. Just one more cast. Chasing that, you guys see him come up and go boom. Terrible sound effect, but he was right behind it, and I slowed it down and then I twitched it and I brought it in and then he just went right over it. Dang it. One more cast. You never know what's following your lure. That's why a good pause every once in a while. That's how I got him on that first one. That balsa, that Bagley that's now 400 yards out that way. Man, it is blowing now. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.